Vyaktam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanati mirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Janganam Vyaptam Yatkinchi Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhava Shri Yat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Shruti Shiroratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantambuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidahine Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shoshanam Bhava Sindoscha Jnapanam Sara Sampadaha Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Na Guroradikam Tattvam Na Guroradikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Radhiranadischa Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadradinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah
Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva
Gurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah.
Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah. Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah. Sadgurudeva Namo Namah. Om Avatara
Shishaya Namaha. Om Vishamaya Namaha. Om Devakarya Samudyataya Namaha. Om Sukshmatanave Namaha. Om Chinmayaya Namaha. Om Gurumurtaye Namaha. Om Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sulochanaya Namaha. Om Sumukhaya Namaha. Om Charvasaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Padmabhujaya Namaha. Om Mandagamanaya Namaha. Om Sharumbaradarine Namaha. Om Ramaya Namaha. Om Mandirastapakaya Namaha. Om Shri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Namaha. Om Gayatri Namaha. Om Arpana Swikarakaya Namaha. Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha. Om Namo Narayanayeeti Mantrupasakaya Namaha. Om Swaramayaya Namaha. Om Madhurakantaya Namaha. Om Krishna Sankirtana Lulopaya Namaha. Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha. Om Mitabashine Namaha. Om Bhakvine Namaha. Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha. Om Rathadaraya Namaha. Om Sadave Namaha. Om Jagatpantaya Namaha. Om Sarvalokahitaya Namaha, Om Bhaktapriyaya Namaha, Om Surdaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shuvekshanaya Namaha, Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Architaya Namaha, Om Artaya Namaha, Om Siddhipradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Manoharaya Namaha, Om Akshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingachana Protsakaya Namaha, Om Siddhi Sadanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Omkaropasakaya Namaha, Om Sukshmaya Namaha, Om Vishokaya Namaha, Om Sattvikaya Namaha, Om Samadarshine Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Achinjaya Namaha, Om Nirankaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Jitandrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashiraya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Svabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaya Namaha, Om Saumyaya Namaha, Om Guyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaya Namaha, Om Gabiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Yutidaraya Namaha, Om Danyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadarshakaya Namaha, Om Kutastha Jagartakaya Namaha, Om Avitrayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikatavardakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pridivya Satta Dhamami Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredani Dade Padam Samo Damasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Ada Abhyaha Tato Dharmani Dharyene Vishnu Karmani Pashyate Ato Vritani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasaka Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashyanti Sureya Dive Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagruvagum Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tano Vishwananda Prachodayate Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tano Vishwananda Prachodayate Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate.
Vakratunda
Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketavane Narayana Achyuta Vikrama Chakrapane Dekadi Sanjadhara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Suprabhata Shri
Rukminesha Bhavanasha Hare Murare Radhesha Gopisha Surupa Brahmadi Vandya Shri Bharakashtaya Vaikuntha Pate Bhuvane Kamute Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhata Ninakrite Kamatarupa Varahamute Trivikramaya Bhuvane Pudorama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodara Jadharananda Kadari Shori Gopa Gopi Jana Samrita Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Shine Bhujagadi Patal Shine Satvakta Sadhana Shine Ramanga Shine Shri Gopavama Madhutalpa Sukhadi Shine Gopa Vallabhaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapati Sukhanara Dagotamadi Brahmarshi Sangamani Sangava Bharatesho Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Bhagya Heto Gopala Sekaraye Tava Suprabhatam Mandara Jali Tulasi Dalamali Kajahe Malyani Anjali Putesa Mudaharanti Tishtanti Vatpavatadara Tare Murindra Radha Manoharaye Tava Suprabhatam Vedatrayam Patati Gautamakana Guya Gayanti Sadguna Gano Varada Savargaha Sankirtayanti Tavanama Katha Visheshaha Shri Naradadi Rishaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhano Dharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Suvesha Bhavati Kota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varada Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachila Sharanagata Parijata Bhakti Panjana Kripakara Dina Bando Divyanta Gayati Jana Priya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padmadhara Prameya Padmalaya Sarita Padma Nivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Surasevita Pada Padma Padmadinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vindattale Viharanaya Mahendra Vanya Kandarpadarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Siddha Chandana Ripna Deha Govinda Yadavaraye Tava Suprabhatam Nanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayangadina Davichona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Susharira Ramadihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vaishi Jangavati Sante Sugandhi Bhadra Shri Mitravinda Divasa Prabhu Putrika Jahe Tishtanti Divya Bhavame Tava Seva Narga Gopi Mana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananta Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Dija Munayurna Nisham Vadanti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam
Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Ahanesham Bhuri Kritam Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahe Tukam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vilyaha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Veksha Lakshavrteju Surabhira Viparayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Pavantamaravinda Dalaya Taksham Paravatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Halola Chandrakala Satvanamaya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vritrimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Shiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Advaitamatchutamanadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabamatma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavana Sopyasti Yatra Padasimya Vichintya Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ekopya Saurachayidum Jagadanda Kotim Yashaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Manimasanayana Bhusha Sukte Yameva Nigama Pratitestu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nicharupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hiradeshu Vilochayanti Yam Shama Sundaramachintya Gunasvarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ramadi Murti Shukalani Yamena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarot Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagananda Koti Kotishvashesha Vasudhari Vibhuti Binam Tat Brahmanishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Maya hi yasya jagadanda shatani sute Te gunyatad vishaya veda vitayamana Sattva valambi para sattva vishura sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manashu Yapraninam Pratipalam Svaratam Upedya Lila Itena Bhuvanani Jayati Jastram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Golokanamni nijadhamni tale chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridhama Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhavani Chaya Vihitaschayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shristi Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ishanurupam Apiyasya Chacheshta Tesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Kshiram yatada divikara vishesha yogat Sanjayate nahi tata pratakasti hetoho Yasham bhutam api tatha samopaiti karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dīpārchireva idashantaramādupetya Dīpāyate brivita etu samana dharma Yastadrigeva icha vishnudaya vibhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yakarana vala jale bhajati sma yoga Nidram ananta jagadanda saroma kupaha Adhara shakti mavalam yaparam svamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashvekanishvasita kala matavalamya Jivanti loma bilaja jagadantanataha Vishnur Mahamsa Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Bhasvanya jasma sakaleju nijeshu tejaha Sviyam kiyat prakatayat yapitadvadatra Brahmaya esha jagadanda vidhana karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Sanagadi Raja Vignam Vihatu Mamalasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Agnir Mahi Ganganam Ambu Maruddishascha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakshakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahana Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasyajnaya Pramati Sambrita Kala Chadro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Dharmotha papa nichayashtutayastapamsi Brahmadikita patakadavayascha jivaha Yaddattamatra vibhavam prakata prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasvindra Gopa Matavendra Mahusva Karma Bandana Rupa Palabhaja Manata Noti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Chabati Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Bhiti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhagahi Sanchinchatasya Sadishinta Nona Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakarana Karana Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Agnarantimirandasya gnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Good morning, everybody. Congratulations to making it to this morning and let's say the last day of Navaratri. Okay, so we're taking a verse from Canto 10, Chapter 4, it's verse 9. From the Srimad Bhagavatam. Satad dastad samudpatya sadyo devi ambaram gata adrishyat anuja vishnuho sohyad hasta mahabhuja. Which means the child, Yogamaya Devi, the younger sister of Lord Vishnu, slipped upward from Krishna's hands and appeared in the sky as Devi, the goddess Durga with 8 arms, completely equipped with weapons. So, in the writing of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sage Vedavyas, he wanted to prepare the people to be able to be ready to, let's say, receive the creme de la creme, the most important part of what he wanted to share. And that was the life of Sri Krishna. To make the people ready to really get the point and to prepare them to really cleanse their mind and their hearts, ready to be able to receive the depth, the understanding, the symbolism in the life of Sri Krishna. He wrote about the Dashavatar. So he was preparing the mind, cleansing the heart. As one reads through the Srimad Bhagavatam, eventually comes to the 10th canto, they are ready to really dive into that relationship that Krishna had with many of his associates at the time, but most importantly, to understand that rasa, that relationship between the gopis and Sri Krishna. But at the beginning of this Leela, this manifestation of the Lord, just after the Lord is born, we have the appearance of Devi. She's given the term Yogamaya, She's also called the younger sister of Krishna and also named Durga Devi. And so as Yogamaya, she's that illusionary aspect where when the souls enter into this limited universe, sent by the will of the Lord, everything happens according to His will, no accidents that you're here, that veil is covered, the perception of that individual. And they don't realize that they're a divine soul, that they're eternal, that they're untouched by this transitory universal experience. They believe that they will die. They believe that I am the body, the mind. This is all that there is. Everything that my senses can perceive, this is all that there is. When in actual fact, Guruji said, what you perceive as human beings, it's less than 1% of what is actually going on, which is not very much. Yeah. So, when the soul has passed through many incarnations and it comes to the point where it's becoming tired of experience limitation, it begins to yearn for something greater, for the eternal. And it calls out to the divine to have a relationship with its creator. So in this eternal relationship between the soul and the divine, the Supreme Being, the Lord Himself instructs Maya Devi, the one who's pulled, let's say, the wool over our eyes, as we say in English, to step back, to no longer veil and keep that one in ignorance, to begin to see and perceive divinity, to even have the possibility to perceive the divine within ourselves, within our own hearts, that tiny fragment of the Lord, Paramatma, within our own heart, and to perceive His presence in all other beings, to begin to understand that the Supreme Being is present in everything. It also says that Durga Devi is the younger sister of the Lord. Well, in truth, the Lord being the Supreme Being, everything proceeds from Him. All deities, all universes, all lokas, everything comes from Him. He is the Supreme Ishvara, the controller of everything. And so we can see in that perspective, all deities are younger than Him, let's say. Many years ago, reminds me, I was talking with Guruji once, who was in the old ashram. And Guruji says, I'm older than all of the residents here. And I was thinking, wait a minute, no you're not. It's like there's some ladies here who are a bit more getting on in their age, you know. And he said, no, that if you combine all of the people that are living here now, there's about 24 residents, and you add all of their incarnations together, I'm older than all of them. I was like, oh. Okay, thanks for clarifying. So, the Lord being the Supreme Being is considered to be the progenitor from everything. Everything proceeds from Him. Therefore, in this verse, it states, Durga Devi, Mahamaya Devi, being the younger sister from Krishna, also showing that closeness of relationship between Him. So in the early life of Krishna, we have the appearance of Devi, and she shouts out to Kamsa, "You fool! The 8th child of Devaki has been born. He slipped out of your fingers. He's disappeared. And he will come back to exact what he has come for, to take your life." And of course, that brings a lot of fear in the heart of Kamsa. He knows that his time is ticking. It's only a matter of time. So what does Kamsa do? He sends out all of his demons out into the various villages and towns to kill the newborn babies and to go and kill the children. And as Kamsa sends out one by one, they don't come back. They get killed. Eventually, Krishna returns to Mathura and kills Kamsa himself. And it's this pride, Kamsa represents that pride, and Kamsa sending out all these different demons each of these demons are a different, let's say, quality of negativity that precedes. It comes from pride. So as we go through the Leela, when you're sitting there at the back, right at the back, and you can look up, and you can see all the different demons, it's mostly in, let's say, in the first half of all the morals on the ceiling, you will see that one by one, Krishna is killing all the demons. Just like Guruji in our lives. He's giving us tests when we're coming here. And one by one, he's killing each form of negativity sequentially, little by little. Did you ever experience that? Guruji gave you a test? Once or twice? Or more? So in this way, this is also what's happening during Navaratri, the 9 nights of Navaratri. So each night we hear this beautiful voice of Swami Guru telling the story of how Devi vanquished the various forms, various demons. And it's symbolic of how Devi is helping us over this period of the 9 nights, over Navaratri. How she, as a servant of the Lord, and sometimes the Lord also sends his servants to also do the work that's required to purify us. So the Lord sends his servants such as Devi to purify his devotees, to help them to transform, to change. He sends many saints, many masters come, helping us to purify ourselves so that we're ready to really enter into that relationship with the Supreme Being. So I was just going to go through and just have a look at some of the demons that Devi slays. What does this represent for us? What quality inside of us is it that's actually being transformed? To help us have an understanding of what kind of journey are we going through, let's say, during this Navaratri. So we have Madhu and Ketaba. These are the first 2 demons that appear in the Bhagavatam, the Devi Bhagavatam. And Mahakali is that aspect of the Divine Mother that does battle and slays them. Now these 2 demons emerge from the earwax of Lord Vishnu. Don't worry, you probably won't have anything like that emerging from your ears. If you do, you know who to call. Please don't go to the hospital, they might not be able to help. But Madhu and Ketaba represent this ignorance. Guruji said many years ago, actually, Madhu and Ketaba, they also represent too much and too little. And often it's like that in life. You might think, oh my God, it's too cold in this horrible country. It's always, dark and dingy, and let's go to somewhere where it's nice and hot. You go on holiday, it's nice and hot, and oh my God, it's too hot. It's too much. Or like, oh, I'm really hungry, I need to eat something. You go for the lunch, you fill up your plate, and then you realize, oh my God, I've got too much. I can't eat all of this. And so we're always going between too little and too much. There's never this satisfaction. So Madhu and Ketaba represent this. They also represent ignorance. The fact that when one is on the spiritual path, one can have that idea, I want to do this to attain punya. I want to level myself up to become more spiritual. And so one is always, whatever they do, whether it's going for prayers, doing yagnas, or whatever it's like this, is always for personal gain, for benefit. And for as long as that person is perceiving from that state, I want to do this for me, for my benefit, my gain. There's I, me, and mine into this all the time. It's coming from self-motivated action, which will not free you. You will always be chained to that. And they both worked very hard, Madhu and Ketaba, to attain this greatness. They performed a lot of penance, a lot of sadhana. But unfortunately, what they did is they used that power to attack Brahma, to steal the Vedas away from him. They could have just asked to be taught, to grow in spiritual awareness, understanding, but yet with that power, They wanted to seize the knowledge that Brahma was holding. And as a result of that, we see in our spiritual path, sometimes we do things for our own benefit, not really for the benefit of others. We do it for our own benefit, and that leads to our downfall. So this is one quality that Devi is working on clearing within inside of ourselves, to pull away that quality of self-centeredness inside of us. Little by little. It doesn't happen all at once. Another demon that you heard about from Swami Guru was the Mahishasura. In the second episode of the Devi Bhagavatam, he takes on the form of, or Devi takes on the form of Mahishasura Mardini, who's a very fierce goddess with 10 arms. She does a great long battle with Mahishasura. Now Mahishasura is a buffalo demon, and he's described as being very, very powerful, but very, very arrogant. And with arrogance comes this stubborn quality. Have any of you ever been stubborn at all? Somebody tells you something, and you say, no, exactly. Don't worry, you know better. And so it's this quality inside of us that Devi is battling. So perhaps during Navaratri, you come and you sit in the tent. The problem is that you're sitting at the back. No, this is not where I should be sitting. Let me try and go to the front. Or Guruji's handing out the Amrit each night, and you're like, I've got to get there faster, he might run out. So you're battling through the people. You have that like stubborn nature. And the stubborn quality inside of us also refuses to accept like other authority that we have around. I am the center of authority. Everything has to happen to as I see it. It should happen to how I want it to unfold. Life doesn't have its own agenda. I'm the master of life. Let me dictate how life should be. And so this inflated sense of pride, we perceive like life happening like that it should happen to our dictates. Swami Revati talked about this on Sunday very clearly. How we think and we project onto God. How God is like human like us. And we limit God to our understanding. And as a result of this comes our fall. So Devi is helping to transform this quality of stubbornness inside of us. To help change that perspective. To realize that we're just another servant within this great ocean of life. Working to attain on a relationship, an intimate relationship with the Lord. We also have Shumba and Nishumba. Now after defeating Mahishasura, these demons arise, and Devi takes on the form of Durga. And when she's battling them, what's happening is there's a lot of, demons that come from them. There's a lot of other also armies that are rallying with Shumba and Nishumba and fighting Devi. And Shumba represents excessive pride, ego, which many of us can have in our lives. And it's hard to sometimes see that. Now, Shumba, he gains tremendous strength through his penance and his austerities. And sometimes we can also hold on to this. Well, wait a minute, I'm a Swami. I should have a certain proximity to Guruji. Let me sit at the table with you, Guruji. This isn't fair. Or I'm a BMCC. Or I'm a this or I'm a that. It doesn't matter who you are. As soon as that pride awakens, Guruji's going to push you away. He's very, very sensitive to that quality of pride. And that pride can arise at any moment in many different forms. Whatever you tend to be good at, maybe, is an opportunity for that pride to awaken, to arise. And through that pride, when that begins to arise, it can lead one astray. Because Guruji, being very sensitive to this, will already create that distance. And you might have to ask, well, why is that the case? I've seen many times when people come in for events, sometimes Guruji said, well, can you sit at the back? And some people feel like really hurt. They come to the ashram, they've been longing to see Guruji, and he says, sit at the back. And next event, sit at the back. And the event after that, sit at the back. And they're like, sometimes they come to some of the Swamis and they say, what's going on? What did I do? It's not that you did something towards Guruji yourself. Maybe there's a quality inside that he's, by asking you to create that distance, the mind begins to analyze. And pride is one of those qualities where Guruji cannot let himself be in proximity to. Humility, you have very close proximity. But pride, he will push away. So if that ever happens to you, you have to start reflecting, what is it, what quality is it that Guruji is trying to reveal in me, where he's giving me that distance. Be aware that sometimes it can have a positive effect. By having distance, it can create longing also. I want to be closer to him. What is it? And so that becomes also a motivating factor for change, for transformation as well. So Nishumba, the brother of Shumba, he also symbolizes this darker aspect of Dharma. So he also gains a lot of power through his austerities. But he uses it to overpower others through cruelty, injustice. There's no empathy there. Has anybody ever stepped on you to go up the ladder in life? You felt that it was used. Sometimes we can do that ourselves as well. In some countries, when you give somebody a position, it's in their culture, they start really acting like the boss and they instantly start telling everybody what to do. It can very easily happen. Sometimes Guruji gives a person a position, knowing that they will turn into like a Nishumba. They will start acting in a very demonic way. But that needs to come out of them. So he gives them a position, they start going crazy with the power. And he says, oh, you can't handle it, and replaces them. So in this way, they begin to understand, well, why did he take me out of this position when he gave it to me in the first place? And then they start reflecting on how they've been conducting themselves, their relationships with others. So this is the quality that Guruji is aiming to remove from you during Navaratri by inviting you here and having Devi working on you every day. One of the last demons, Raktabija, was slain by Devi. And Raktabija has got this quality, when he's cut and his blood falls on the ground, another Raktabija grows. Exactly the same. Same power, same quality. How many times in your life have you worked on yourself to overcome something? Maybe a fear. And you think, okay, it's done. It's finished. I've completed it. Woohoo! And then what happens? Something else, an event comes up, and then again, you're back into the same pattern again. The same quality. The same pattern, the same samskara, the same negative thought of mind. And you think, oh my God, I thought I'd finish with this. I thought this was done. And now it's back again. I remember Guruji many years ago, one of the devotees from the UK, we were sitting in their family temple in the UK, and Guruji just turned to him and he said, you know what, you're just the same as you were in your last incarnation. And he was like, what? Didn't remember what his last incarnation was, but Guruji remembered clearly. And he said, yeah, you haven't changed a bit. So then he listened. So Raktabija represents this relentless, unending nature of re-emergence of these patterns within ourselves. And that can be really exhausting, isn't it? You think that you've finished with it. It's done. And then you think, oh no, here we go again. There's a saying, if you think that you've developed spiritually, go home and spend a week with your parents. All the old patterns are there. Any buttons you wish to press, they will probably press them. So spend 1 week with the parents and see how you go. You may find your Raktabijas coming back up again. Okay? But it's good. You can see what they are. I've still got more work to do. One thing that Guruji gives us to be able to, let's say, annihilate these negative samskaras that keep coming lifetime after lifetime, is continuous focus on the divine. Everywhere you go in this ashram, you look around, you see stories of the divine, images of the divine. Many of you that live out in the world, you come home. Do you have enough time to be able to do everything that you need to, that Guruji's asked of you? You do your 2 hours of Kriya in the morning before work, your 2 hours of Kriya in the evening. You do your 1 hour of japa, you watch the satsangs. You have enough time when you've purchased an online pilgrimage to watch 7 hours a day and do all the work at the same time. To work on your music, the bhajans, the kirtans, to do some painting, to do all these things, to read the scriptures. You have 72 hours a day. It's not easy, is it? But Guruji purposefully creates the whole, let's say, possibility, many different ways to keep your mind focused on the divine. This is why he's given the 4 arms. There's so many different ways, but he wants you to have that continuous focus on the divine, so that these little Raktabijas are no longer growing within us again. Because if you're not focusing on that, you're focusing on the divine, little by taking that focus away. There's only 2 focuses in life: the egoic, the demonic, or the divine. So if you're focusing on the divine, everything else, the egoic, the demonic aspects, the qualities, they're not going to grow. Little by little, when you plant the seed and it starts growing, it will not have the sunlight, it will not have the water, it will not have the energy to continue to grow. It will slowly wither and die, because the focus is on the divine itself. So this is what Devi is also doing for us. So all of our little Raktabijas are being slowly annihilated. Tonight will be let's say, the Kali dance. I'm curious, who's here for the very first time for Navaratri? Okay, a few. How many of you have not seen the Kali dance before? Okay. So if you sit in the front row, you'll get the most vivid experience. Perhaps, if you're lucky, when Devi swings her sword, off comes your head as well. So while she's severing the head of Raktabij, Mahishasur, with her sword, piercing with her trident, maybe symbolically during that time, she'll also be severing the head of the ego within us. That's what this will represent tonight, the cutting down of all those negative qualities, the severing of the head of the ego, the annihilation of the pride within us. And this is, let's say, the conclusion of Navaratri itself. Why? Why does Guruji do this every year? And Devi is a great servant of the Lord. And why would the Lord ask Devi to do what she does? Because he wants to have an immaculate, perfect relationship with you. He wants to have a relationship with you based only on eternal love. But everything else that stands in between that has to go. So he asked Devi for the assistance in that process, to come and serve by removing all these negative qualities. Like Krishna did. he annihilated one by one each of the demons that Kamsa sent, until finally Krishna could go to Mathura and go for the bride itself. So this is the journey that we go on, let's say, every year. So this is my 17th Navaratri, and there is still some Rakta Bijas there within me. Sometimes they grow, and there's work to be done. So don't think that you'll be enlightened by the end of this. Well, maybe you will. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. It would be lovely to see everybody enlightened by the end of these 9 days. But if you're not, then come back again next year. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine.
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 Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
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 Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Narasimha madin sharanam prapadye.
Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye.
Narasimha madin sharanam prapadye.
Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine.
Praladaladaine.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Ito narasimho parato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Yato yato yamitato narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Bahir narasimho hridaye narasimho.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamabhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Kesharadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Kavakara Kamalavare Nakamabhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
O Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
O Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev
Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev
O Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj
Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj
O Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Haribo 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 Sri Vishwananda Haribo
Sri Vishwananda Haribo 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 Sri Vishwananda Haribo
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Raja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yati Raja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me
Utrapati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala Me
Prapati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me
Tridanda Darini Godakachaya Mangala Mangala Me
Tridanda Darini Godakachaya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala 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 Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Range Sakinkaya Dataya Mangala Mangala Me
Rangesha Kayarataya Mangala Mangala Me
Mananataya Daridaraya Mangala Mangala Me
Manarataya Jalinadaya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Mangala Mangala Me Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon Ke Sankata Dasa Janon Ke Sankata Shana Me Dura Kare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Jo Jare Pala Pave Dukha Vinase Manaka Swami Dukha Vinase Manaka Sukha Sampati Gara Ave Sukha Sampati Gara Ave Kashta Mite Danaka Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Swami Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Tuma Vina Ora Naduja Tuma Vina Ora Naduja Asakarume Kisaki Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayami Swami Tuma Antarayami Para Brahma Parameshvara Para Brahma Parameshvara Tuma Sabake Swami Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagar Tuma Palana Karata O Swami Tuma Palana Karata Nei Sevaka Tuma Swami Nei Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Tuma Ho Eka Gocha Sabake Pranapati Swami Sabake Pranapati Kisa Vidhi Milundaya Maya Kisa Vidhi Milundaya Maya Tuma Kome Kumaki Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Dina Bandhu Dukha Harta Tumara Shaka Mere Swami Tumara Shaka Mere Karuna Hata Badao Karuna Hata Badao Sharana Pada Tere Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Vishaya Mitara Mitao Papa Haro Deva Swami Papa Haro Deva Shraddha Bhakti Badao Shraddha Prema Badao Santana Ki Seva Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Dana Mana Dana Sabha Entera Swami Sabha Kucha Entera Swami Sabha Kucha Entera Tera Tujhko Arpana Tera Tujhko Arpana Kya lage mera Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Swami Jayo Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon Ke Sankata Dasa Janon Ke Sankata Jana Me Dura Kare Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Mane Chakra Kodi Gidari Lala Chakra Kodi Gidari Lala Chakra Kodi Gidari Lala Chakra Kodi Mane Chakra Kodi Gidari Lala Chakra Kodi Gidari Lala Chakra Kodi
Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Oh, Chakra Ko, Chakra Ko, Chakra Koji. Chakra Ko, Chakra Ko, Chakra Koji. Mane Chakra Koji. Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Shama Mane Chakra Koji. Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Govinda Mane Chakra Koji. Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Gidari Lala Chakra Koji. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva. Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva. Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Govinda. Asato Ma Sahagamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Namaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Prem se bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki Jai. Prem se bolo Sri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Mandir ki Jai. Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai. Prem se bolo Bhavtala Kriya Baba ji ki Jai. Prem se bolo Shanujacharya ki Jai. Prem se bolo Satguru Deva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantra Yantra Tantra Aushadhashta Shastrani Sambalaya Sambala Mechor Mochaya Mochaya Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Diti Jana Pritaya Savanik Shobana Humpat Parashmai Parabrahmane Paramdabhishe Swaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam Venkatamana Govinda. Gopika Jivrasmana Govinda. Bhaktavatsala Govinda. Pundalika Varade. Eknath Namdev. Pandharinath Maharaj ki Samasta Bhakta Mandali ki Alvar Empunumanar Thiruvarikare Sharanam.